Good morning, afternoon, or evening, depending where you are in the world. Believe it or not, I'm in the mood to motivationally speak at 7 something in the morning, or 7 a.m. rather. Um, this one is a different one because I'm actually going to tell you not my history. It's going to be combined with my history, but what it is the grocer always tells me to do long videos, so I'm trying. I have a lot of rap content out there from trap raps and stuff on my first YouTube channel that had 300 plus videos that got banned. Um, I get banned Facebook and Instagram because of community guidelines. TikTok because of major community guidelines. I follow two people. In the beginning, I was practicing with a lot of people, but on TikTok, I follow two people. I might have messed up his names, but Josh Ruiz Guitar and Ja underscore Rook. Now, I believe he's from Cincinnati or the area of Cincinnati Bengals only because of the shirts that I've seen him wear. I could be wearing a Bear shirt right now to represent Chicago, but I don't think I need to represent Chicago anymore. I think I live in Chicago. Um, Born and raised in the city of Chicago, Illinois. Yes, I have to say city of Chicago, Illinois, because there are other Chicagos. What I did in the first part of my media experience is realize that Facebook has a lot of fake pictures, a lot of fake people. But the family and neighbors are following me. So I have like 540 plus followers, I believe, on Facebook, right? But it's unfortunate I only have 40 or 41 subscribers, you know? I think I know why, but it's the beginning of my career. You have to realize I've only been doing this for about 4 months. I lost friends and family doing this as a public figure. I'm no longer even using first names because the Jewish man taught me that's a stupid thing to do. My life story is so original that I still have not found a person like me yet. I know there are kids that saw the first murder happen when they were less than 8. The reason I use the number 8 is because that's the youngest gangbanger in the 90s, right? That I met for marijuana. Me and my friends went to the West Side. Highly recommend against the West Side or the South Side for white people only, believe it or not. Now, downtown Chicago, Wrigleyville, north of there, let's say to the borderline of the city of Chicago before you hit most gorgeous places in Illinois, in my opinion, Winnetka and Wilmette. If you have any bad intentions of going there to let's say, do a home invasion or something, you better believe law enforcement lives in all those buildings. Close to the millionaires and billionaires that own the Cubs. I don't know where the Chicago Bull owner lives. I don't know exactly where the Chicago Cub owner lives either, or the White Sox, or the soccer, or Blackhawks. There are a lot of things that I Google, and then there are a lot of things that I don't Google to protect my life. One of the things I do not Google is the 600 crews of meaning gangs in Chicago, Illinois. I don't want to know those names because I don't want to accidentally rap one day and say it. Now, I'm tired of talking about my teenage history. Be, I'm tired, not tired. Um, when I say I'm sorry, not sorry, what I really mean is that I am sorry for what's happening to you and us right now. But in the fact, reality is that I'm not unhappy about it. I'm happy about it at the same time. So When you say to a person as a salesperson, or to a human being, or to a relative or friend, you say, friends I haven't talked to in a long time, and family either because of my public figure status. If you say, "Oh, you didn't like the price of that insurance because it's double what you pay at your other place," "Oh, you're from," give me a name somewhere. You're from Allstate Insurance. "Oh, I can't talk you out of Allstate Insurance. You love that insurance. Best company in the world, right?" What I do here is I pause them and myself with silence. Now I'm going to pause you right there and ask you a question. When you were silent and I was silent, did your thoughts go 100 miles per hour? Exactly. This is why, if you're a salesman or you don't want to be dealt with bad salespeople, what you need to know are several things. One is that I have a great imagination. You know, I might think something's happening to me that's not happening. You know, my sister tells me that all the time. Um, I don't like talking about this because I don't like promoting the darkness of it, but if you have it, it's good for you to realize what it is. Yes, I'm all over the place. I don't write things down. People have told me to do that. I used to work at an insurance company for 3 months because I gave a 90-day opportunity to a longtime friend of mine I no longer speak to. Known her for 20 plus years, since 2003. So 18 years. I'm in 2021, in case you're watching an old video. I don't know. That doesn't exist on YouTube. I think the oldest video I found on YouTube is 12 years old. Or 15 years old. And when I say that age, think about this. I'm 44 right now. It's 2021. I'm surviving the pandemic right now. Okay. I had a friend come over to my apartment the other day, and, you know, I'm not promoting it, but we smoked marijuana. And we had a little bit of tequila, white tequila. And it was a great experience because my apartment has been empty this entire pandemic. That started in around February, March of 2020. And people got sick before that, but didn't know that they had the coronavirus because there was no name for it. I remember driving my car, and all of a sudden, I heard the word COVID-19. And I was like, what the hell is a COVID? What is the 19 for? And I'm listening to 780 AM. I live in Chicago, Illinois. And the reason I say Illinois is because the world has different Chicagos. So it's kind of hard to say where you are. America, United States. Because I talk to so many people in Africa. Now, talking to people online is very difficult, very hard. Especially live. The reason there, I know I go back and forward. Sorry, not sorry. Is because I don't write anything down. You know, I can turn my phone around and show you. I don't care to do that. All right, you don't believe me. Okay. Are you happy? What's organic about me is that I'm changing differently today. So many facts. One of them is it's like, where do I end and begin? Because my life is still continuing. You know, so you have to think about this process. If you're a motivational speaker like Wrong Too Strong, highly recommend on YouTube. Value Entertainment. Highly recommend on YouTube. You just have to take the E out between value and entertainment. There's another Oakbrook guy. He's phenomenal. Matt Zapula, I think. I'm bad with names. Sorry. Not sorry. Um, Sorry, not sorry means you're sorry that came out incorrect, possibly, but you're not sorry because you're just trying to be a positive motivational speaker. Now, Wrong to Strong, Josh Ruiz Guitar, and Ja underscore Rook. I don't know what advertising they do. I'm drinking coffee. I can't tell how much the money they spend on advertising because, for example, is this. I watch Wrong to Strong. He has this 57 um, video series called Cartel Life. I think it's called Cartel Life. Excuse me, or if I don't know it. And what he's talking about is his life experience. Now, why he's more original than me is this reason. Because I've been to Mexico twice as a Mexican, and there were, was it twice? I'm having difficulty remembering that part. I know it was, I'm trying to remember this. Cozumel, swam with dolphins, went to the Bahamas. As far as traveling, that's as far as I've gone. I've never been a rich person, not a rich person today. You know, I struggle with money in interesting ways. How do I go there with struggling with money? Oh my gosh. I mean, you have to go everywhere with that. Um, it's like I don't even know where to begin or end with that one, honestly. Um, you know, I spoke about some different suburbs. Suburbs, let's say, God forbid, I was homeless, right? I can't do that in the suburbs and get away with it. There are zero homeless people in the suburbs of Chicago, Illinois. They live in certain homes, certain apartments, certain complexes, certain disability and social security type of homes. There are half houses, there are halfway houses, whatever they're called. There are places for poor people to live. Now, if you drive through Humboldt Park, white people, stop it. Tell your Uber to go around Humboldt Park, around Logan Square, and I'm going to fuck you up even more with this one. I watch certain people that don't have a lot of subscribers. That's my habit. Because I actually want to learn what other people are not learning. So if you are just watching the same thing over again, TMZ, okay. How many times have you seen the show? Think about it. Yeah, you can't even count. Because you watch it almost every day. You get the subscription notifications and then you watch the videos. So Tony Robbins was introduced to me at the age of 9 because I witnessed a murder happen where I lived. Don't live there today, obviously. And Tony Robbins was introduced to me by my father because he was being a father. And he knows, or knew rather, that his son witnessed a murder. Literally witnessed a murder. Like, literally witnessed the actual murder taking place in the alley across the street. Right in front of the house. A van pulls up. I'm 9 years old looking at it. What are the kids doing? What games are they playing? Oh, I can't wait to go back outside. And this was the first murder I saw. And I'm not going to go far into that because it's kind of difficult to talk about murders that you witnessed or know about. It was a brown van. The guy just walked up to Bucky's house. I'm like, all right, he's got friends, family, of course. The other guy that was in the car with him parked right by the fire hydrant. You have to understand that growing up in Chicago, Illinois is much different than a lot of places. It's much different than California, much different than New York. Now, the fact that we're called the murder capital and have 600 crews, there's analytics I can't see for that because I'm not in law enforcement. I was told by someone else that I think was in the Marines or the Army when I was in the hospital the other day that he looked like he was in the military because they're very private in the hospital. And I was in Downers Grove Hospital um, as a public figure, right? Let's just say that I met some people there that I think already knew me before I met them. Yeah. For example, besides the people I was in there with, um, there was one guy from Florida, another guy from Des Plaines, a lady from, she didn't say where, probably that area. And the other guy was Jason. And he was in an altercation with one of the counselors. What was interesting is that I didn't get to witness it, like I witnessed the murder, because I wasn't there. I was just walking around. Because 24 hours inside, you're just bored, you know? Yeah. Today, the only motivational speaker I listen to is not Tony Robbins anymore. I have 35 years of Tony Robbins. I'm 44. I don't need any more Tony Robbins today. What I listen to are the small subscriptions, YouTube channels, TikTok. It's just search it and see what you want. It's a radio station. People don't even know that about TikTok. It's tick, tock, tick, tock, tick, tock. It's time going. It's music. Now I don't do music on there. I haven't written one. I haven't done one beat, which there are so many apps to do beats. Um, John underscore Rook hires. I don't know if he hires, pays. It's a great question to ask him one day. Um, because if you're promoting them as artists, why would you pay for that? They should be paying him. Ja Rule should be making money promoting the beat makers because he's a phenomenal writing rapper. I've seen him freestyle maybe once or twice. I, for some reason, have the ability to freestyle. It's because of this very unique car accident I had. Yeah, there's a lot of thoughts I have about that. Let's just put it that way. I have all my what's interesting is this. I love coffee. Bustelo, by the way. Look at this. That's a fire burn. Okay. This is a scar. And that's the other scar. See if you can see this. Yeah, that's one scar. And then under my eyebrow is the other scar. Here's the interesting part about this. One's in the center, and the other is all on the right side. Interesting. Considering to this day, I'm considered to be folks if I get arrested, you know? I don't gangbang, that's just stupid. You know, about law enforcement, let's say you want a drug deal. I try not to use names, but the person's deceased. And I don't want to hurt their family, but I'm going to have to use it because it's part of my life story, not his. 2003, I was a loan officer trainer. Okay, 2001 was 9/11. 2 days after 9/11, I ran over 3 Mexicans that were riding bikes. 2 days after 9/11, as a customer service agent for ATA Airlines. And they told me, why didn't I just run over the police? Okay. The white police officer specifically came up to me and said, why didn't you just reverse? I was like, I'm hysterical that I ran over. I'm distracted because of 9/11. I'm a customer service agent at ATA Airlines, which closed, by the way. They were headquartered in Indiana, United States. So what happened was he told me, the white police officer, I should have ran them over again. I said, what? I'm part Mexican. I'm 3/4 Puerto Rican. Why are you saying this to me? White police officer. Today I realize it's not racism. Back in the day, I thought it was racism. Because 2 days after 9/11, I don't remember if Al Qaeda came up, Taliban came up. No, Al Qaeda was after that, I think. Taliban and Osama bin Laden, Saddam Hussein. Those were questions as to what happened with the 2 airplanes that hit those big buildings. The unfortunate part of being a customer service agent is I had to get calls all day long from people looking for family and friends, mostly family. So yeah, I was a little distracted 2 days later when I hit 3 Mexicans, me being part Mexican. And he said I should have reversed and forwarded again to hit them again. Reversed again, forwarded again to hit them over, and do it until they all die. So in 2003, September 13th, makes no difference because that's 2 years later from when a white police officer told me I should run them over and kill them Mexicans that ran away, by the way. They ran away like the devil was behind them because they knew from the car accident what was going to happen is that police were going to have to come involved because I hit another human being. So they ran fast and extremely because not only was there a mystery as to who did 9/11, but they were still Mexican immigrants, I'm sure of it. The reason I know that they were Mexican immigrants is because they ran like hell. Because if I had knocked over a Mexican citizen, they would be upset at me. You know, asking the police to be there to not get into a fight with me. It was 2 men and 1 woman. Now, I did that outside my former mortgage company. Today it's like a tattoo shop. Nothing to do with mortgages. I'll promote a tattoo shop. I went there and had the best George Pappas tattoo ever. Had his own business and because of the pandemic retired. So sad. And I met him at J Dragon Tattoo. If you want to meet all the celebrities that have gone there, I'm sure they have pictures of them there. It's on Belmont between Central and Austin. I want to feel like it's that. Like I was speaking to Anna inside and she was talking about getting a tattoo on her hands. And she was right-handed. I asked her, are you right-handed or left-handed? She said, I'm right-handed. She looked at her like it was an interesting question. Because she said she wanted to put the tattoo on her left hand. And I said, don't do a big one. That's going to look nasty. She's like, no, it's really small and tiny, but, you know, you do it like this and it comes out to that. And I was like, oh, that sounds pretty. So I told her, well, if you're right-handed, you should put it on your right hand because that's your dominant hand and that's your money hand. So, you know, we smiled a couple times. Me and her had some good, fun conversations. She said to me that she was the owner of, not an owner, her husband is the owner. I mean, they're both owners Um, we talked about men cheating, 9 out of 10 cheating, 5 out of 10 women cheating, and we had a lot of interesting motivational conversations. And all I tried to do was protect everybody in there, which is silly because I'm not security. That's their job. For example, they would always allow this one man that had the mentality of a 4-year-old, 3 to 4 year old, by the way he walked. I studied him as a phenomenal actor. I said, if I ever want to do a performance like this, if it was a performance, um, how would I do it? Let me watch him. The last couple of days, I was there for I think 12 days. I didn't do the math. And I basically, he was in the room a lot, sleeping a lot, like a baby. Yeah. Anna said her husband and her owned a company where they knocked down the airport on Lake Michigan, right south of, right east of Soldier Field, and just south of the Shit Aquarium, I believe, and the lake is all around it. Beautiful. That's where people had like private planes and stuff of that nature. Because from what I understand, I think private planes are O'Hare, probably in some way Midway Airport, but there's one in Rockford, I think. I know of one in Joliet for private planes, for small ones. The only reason I know Joliet is because I worked there at AAA. It's funny, I went to ATA, AAA, Chase Bank, M and R Mortgage Solutions, I think it was called. My dad's a real estate broker for 40 years. I think he knows what he's doing. I believe he has like 10 plus agents. It's not something you ask your dad every day, You just know he's busy. When I call my dad and he doesn't pick up, it's because he's either sleeping, I call him at the wrong hour by accident, or yeah, the phone, you touch it, the touch screens, it's different. By the way, before 97, the internet didn't exist to me. The internet started in 97 because Jeff Bezos started the internet and made it famous. From a bookstore he started. That's what Amazon was when it started, guys. Just a bookstore. Then he expanded to being a bigger bookstore. And then the best bookstore. And then the gigantic bookstore. Okay, the international bookstore. You have to understand the internet was slowly climbing. Warren Buffett in the 90s said, "Oh, internet, so silly, it's trending." He believes cryptocurrency is trending. I believe the guy that owns $1 billion in Bitcoin, Albert Einstein, aka Elon Musk, I think he knows what he's talking about better than Warren Buffett about science and artificial intelligence. Yeah. We're in a movement. Again, I don't know what year this is that you're watching this video, right? This is impossible. 12 years right now for YouTube. It's the oldest videos I've seen. I was looking for like 20, 30, 40 ones, and then I checked myself. I'm like, are you stupid? When did the company start? So, yeah. One of the guys I was in a psych ward with, I was in a psych ward for about 12 days. The Mexican guy. There was a Mexican, a Puerto Rican, Irish, Italian guy, and then the white lady. I didn't ask her what she was. When you're in the hospital, Downers Grove, and you're on the bad side, so there's a good side and a bad side of the psych ward, meaning the bad side is for the most crazy ones. And then the good side is for people that want to improve themselves and become better. So they're going to these story lessons, or I forgot what they're called. Something about meetings where like all of you sit in a room and they have the counselor. The fight with the black guy and the sprained arm, I didn't get to see that because I was walking. I believed Oscar, the man that was there, I believe he saw it. And then he, told himself to make a decision whether he should get involved or not. And then he didn't. He says he's 26, and then, I'm 44. So he told me he sold electricity door to door. And I convinced him I want to spend a week with him teaching him sales techniques. And I was teaching him, and again, boredom, right? I was not bored 24 hours there because I'm a motivational speaker for real. Anyway, he came to my apartment. Marijuana is legal here today. So we had some marijuana, and he brought some tequila at the grocery store downstairs for double the price. And I tried to tell him, I'm like, let's just go take a walk to Walgreens. But, I was almost handicapped from walking where I did 8 miles and then got dehydrated. Because my perseverance and repetition is a mother skill. Those are things I learned from Tony Robbins, Lou Holtz, Og Mandino. This black man whose name I need to Google, he fought cancer. When he got cancer, he didn't even believe that it was going to kill him. Sadhguru, Sadhguru, and Deepak Chopra. If you don't know Deepak Chopra, then oh my gosh. I'm not even going to spell that out. Yes, I can, but I don't want to. Deepak Chopra. They did a combined video virtually. So it's 2021 if you're watching this in history for some reason. For like school or something. They did a video explaining that they don't want the vaccines and they don't need the vaccines. Long story short with that one, obviously a video you can Google is Google and YouTube are the same company. Like my phone is just dominant Google. It's not the Google phone. I think that'll be my next purchase, but this one is the Samsung Galaxy S21 Ultra. So it's hilarious to me thinking what year this is because you're looking back at it saying, oh, that old phone, what crap. Technology is extraordinary. I did a video a long time ago that freaked out this guy that I recruited as an uncle, just from family and friends relationships. Hispanics do that, they adopt people. Not literally, but emotionally. He was contacting me and saying, I love this video about, it's called What Six Question Marks. Another video you can't see because it's gone on my banned account. And I have a banned account on TikTok too. Banning meaning life. There's a way to email to get it back, but there's no need for it. So anyway, he contacts me. I think it was Facebook Messenger today. I wonder what it is 10 years from now. And Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk are the biggest names, and Jeff Bezos are the biggest names today. Jeff Bezos owns Amazon. That's open today. I believe it's going to fail later. Because when the owner says it's going to fail, it's going to fail. Alibaba.com is the competition to Amazon. One's in Asia, and one's here in the United States. Right now, in 2021, we are strongly trying to get to Mars because I believe they secretly discovered that we're running out of oil. And the reason it's secret is because they don't want to freak us out for running out of gas. That's kind of how the world works today, 2021. So he wants to end us up in Mars, which if it's 20 years from now, you guys are watching this in Mars. He made a joke that he wants to die in Mars. That has to be a joke. Because with his level of intelligence, he has to continue to develop every day of his life. He's an 18-hour-a-day guy. I mean, that's what he's known for. I'm sure he's had sleepless nights. I've had sleepless nights when I have a lot on my mind and a lot of things I've gone through. Like I have a PS3 in front of me. I've never played it. It's a PlayStation. Number three, depending on what year this is, you're thinking, oh my God, that's like, for me, that's like Coleco and Atari. The original video games that came out. You don't know about that. They don't exist today. They exist in different ways, of course. More coffee. No smoke, no alcohol. Quit smoking Newports, which is a menthol cigarette. And, you know, the reason I say, oh, that's a menthol cigarette is because you're in the United States. When I'm connected all the way to Switzerland on my analytics, it shows me I'm around the world, right? Yeah. Supposedly I'm in Africa. I met this Brazilian lady who disappeared on me. I had several white ladies that disappeared on me. There's a famous person that I met in my car, Jennifer Emilia Johnson. I had this lady from Africa pretending to be her, and she was not her. What I do not understand about Africa is this: they're impoverished. In 1994 is when it became legal to not be a slave there. And when I say slave in the human dominance, not in the slaveries like America did. I think our first president, George Bush, owned slaves. Owned them. Abraham Lincoln became our president later on that decided, and from Illinois, I'm from Chicago, Illinois as well. I haven't been to Capitol to see his original house or anything of that nature, but I got to make that drive one day. Or flight, it's 5 hours away. I'm sure it's a small flight. He took away slavery. So he's another man I did not meet that I'm obsessed with. Like Elon, Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, Tony Robbins. Wrong, too strong. Now, depending on how old this video is, you probably don't even know who that is. You know? He might not be with us anymore. I might not be with us anymore. I live life as if today's my last day. And that sense of personality gives me a super sense of ambition. The only reason I'm an ambitious salesman today is because of the first murder I witnessed from my living room window, thinking, what are the kids doing outside that I play with? Bucky was down the street. That's a nickname, I think. I don't use first names anymore. I had the social media experience happening so many different ways. I took scams for a month. Not fun. Mark Zuckerberg, who's the owner of Facebook and Instagram today, was telling me that he was going to give me $10,000. And I had to pay $4,000 in insurance. Then I had another white lady tell me that, oh, you can win $500,000, $500,000 right now. I deleted my Facebook Messenger experience. I don't even know if she's online. I doubt she's online. You got to think about it as a public figure. If you're not online anywhere, like let's say you're not on Facebook or Messenger, but they know you're on today, Snapchat, YouTube, and I fight myself with Facebook and Instagram because Facebook is like the 1980s. The internet was really started in the 90s. And it started probably before that, a long time ago, for the wars. Now, analytics for the wars is what you should really look at. Don't look at who won and who lost, because there's no winner or loser in a war. It really isn't. It affects a lot of civilians, a lot of human beings. Trying to make it an hour. It's 39 minutes. I don't really know where to go next. Right now, the most beautiful suburbs, in my opinion, is Winnetka and Wilmette. Evanston, close to there, feels like a different city of Chicago. Winnetka. Wow. I love and hate the city of Chicago at the same time. I love it because of its weather. Fall and spring here are spectacular, especially fall because we see the leaves change. It's a beautiful city when the leaves change. Suburbs, forget about it. Same thing. Um, there was an alligator placed in the Humboldt Park River Ponds, whatever you want to call it. In New York, it's like Central Park. Here, it's Humboldt Park in Chicago. And I don't know what the LA one is. I know they have it. I just don't know which one it is. So New York has boroughs. Bronx and New York City has the boroughs in Milton, the Queens, and whatever. I'm not from there. Brooklyn. I grew up with Biggie Smalls, Notorious B.I.G. is AKA Tupac. NWA taught me a lot of bad things. Ice Cube taught me even worse things. This movie called Colors from the 80s taught me about Bloods and Crips, something that doesn't exist supposedly in Chicago, Illinois, which I didn't even know that. I didn't know that until a man told me that. Same man I was with in the psych ward. Yeah. It's kind of ironic, a lot of things that happen there. Let's just put it that way. I know poverty because I'm poor right now. I have two checking accounts. One's negative $900. The other one's negative $100. My problem with that is TikTok. Today's TikTok is popular. I saw a message saying that we got a billion users. And I started TikTok about 3 months ago. I've only received $80. So the $80 was to prove that it works. But I had to close my account because my keys went missing twice. And some other reasons. Because I thought I was being scammed. Because I was being scammed. And I, involved myself with these scams. I had a little bit of alcohol that day. And marijuana never changes my mind. It sedates me to stay calm and relaxed and not commit any violence. Alcohol is a difference. Luckily he was smart enough to buy a little bit of alcohol and share it with me. I didn't see him drink any of it. Yeah. Maybe just brought it for me, right? Maybe it was the special tequila. I went to the hospital 3 times. Had a panic attack. A very major thing to have experienced. Because I had multiple ones in my old Pace bus driving history. When I think about my history, it's almost like human beings. Being funny, of course. God is saying, Jesus Christ is on my heart. That's a beautiful tattoo, George Pappas. I'm tired because of the silly pandemic. And above there it says, God, I beg thee, bless me with the supreme power to direct my thoughts, control my emotions, and ordain my destiny. Anyway, when I came out of the psych ward, long story short, I was in hospital 3 times in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks, something of that nature. And when I started getting panic attacks driving a bus, that didn't make sense to me. But because of my recent experiences with the guy from the psych ward, the blonde lady from the psych ward, the counselor, the nurses, and the Mexican guy that came to visit me. We had a little bit of tequila, and a little bit of marijuana, and I didn't get to see him drink it, so I don't know if he's just against alcohol. He's just being nice to me. Um, anyway, so for 3 weeks I'm psychotic, right? I was interested in committing murder because this Jewish man was upsetting me. He says he's Jewish. The only reason I say he says he's Jewish is because I think being Jewish Puerto Rican is more attractive to sales people than just a Puerto Rican. And he is a welder, something with iron welding. I don't know what that is. I haven't done it. So he's a Jewish Puerto Rican welder. He's always at home because he's on unemployment. Unemployment's really expensive now. Or opportunists because we're in the pandemic, which if you don't know what that word means, Google it. If Google even exists 20 years from now. Google used to be called Yahoo. Yeah, things come and go. You know, Warren Buffett is not about artificial intelligence. He didn't believe in the computer and the internet when it started. In the 90s, before the internet, everything was write something down. Yeah. I barely write anything down today. 2021, I write cards for birthdays, anniversaries, Mother's Day, Father's Day, that type of stuff. I'm lucky as hell to have both my parents today. Lucky as hell. When I sit here alone for 24 hours a day in my home, that's why being in the hospitals, plural, didn't bother me. Because I'm used to being by myself. So the fact that I was disturbed to kill a Jewish man, that makes zero sense to me. The fact that I had the first panic attack since driving a Pace bus, I don't know how many years ago, a decade ago, that was very interesting to me too. The fact that I only had marijuana and a little bit of tequila that day. Who knows, right? Things happen. I live in a very, very big buildings, plural, in Chicago, Illinois. Who doesn't have big buildings in Chicago, Illinois? Okay, the reason I'm obsessed with certain people only, not because I believe they were introduced to me and put into my phone by suggestions and like the FBI or something is doing something silly like that. The fact that I have no TikTok money in 3 months, it's probably an email I should send out. I believe you're supposed to get the money every month. And considering I've seen other people showing their statements, they have money and I don't, so it doesn't make sense. I should have like somewhere between $4,000 to $6,000 to $8,000. 2021, that's kind of a big deal. Your mortgage is between, I don't know, 1,500 to $2,000, depending on where you live in the suburbs. And if it's downtown Chicago, it's a lot more than that. So I live in the second biggest city, for example, but we're the murder capital. What I found out through, who did I find that out through? I only go to unique channels, so I don't know. I only follow one motivational speaker today, and that's Wrong to Strong. Because everybody else was developed in my history, so it's in my knowledge already. Repetition is the mother of skill. Tony Robbins taught me that. This morning, there's a balcony where I live. Love to go outside, see what the weather's like, because this is my favorite season. Summer sucks because it gets so hot. I just sweat. I'm outside burning, and it doesn't make any sense to me. Africa's making zero sense to me because I wasn't able to video chat a bunch of kids together. And now that I'm putting this public, I'm sure they'll organize that to happen. The only way I'll find out if they're real is once I end up in Kenya or Uganda on vacation. But right now I'm waiting for a booster shot to feel confident about that. But they take 20 cents worth of medications every week to avoid the COVID-19. So I don't understand Africa at all. I cannot believe there's zero vaccines in the entire country, including Cape Town, which is whites and celebrities from there. I don't understand Africa at all. I do not want to go there now because of the pandemic, so they know I'm not coming. One is showing me that he's building a house for me to stay in. One invited me to stay with him. I said, all right, well, absolutely not. I would stay in a hotel if I was there. Because of the pandemic, which started in January, February, March more official, 2020. And today is October 2021. It has not ended. We have Tesla thriving to go to Mars, but he's not focused on the vaccines. I wonder if he's vaccinated because there's a lot of people against the vaccines because they don't take the normal vaccines, like the flu shot. I have family members that have never ever been to the doctor's office for themselves in their entire life. They've been there for family and friends. Right now, what's really popular is Mind Valley Institute. It's about health and reading about, I don't know what, I haven't studied it. I know people are into that, so. My life has not ended, so my motivational speaking is a lot easier because you have something to say about your life today as opposed to your history. So I look at 35 years of history because that's when Tony Robbins was introduced to me, because before that it was all about video games, Coleco and Atari. Google that, depending what year this is. Those are the original ones starting here. And the games, if you saw the games from the 80s, wait a minute. Is it the 80s? Coleco? Yeah, it was the 80s. And Atari. That's who started it. So I got to see the beginning of it. I got to see the beginning of electric cars. I got to see the beginning of Michael Jordan, Chicago Bulls winning 2 3-peats. Today is considered to be the GOAT, which is the greatest of all time. That's what the GOAT stands for, instead of the animal. His competition today is LeBron James. But in my opinion, that's not his competition because Michael Jordan refused to leave one team. He went to the Wizards when he brought it. He's a billionaire. Dr. Dre is a billionaire today. Warren Buffett, I don't even know how many billions for him. He's a stock master. There's an African American that is called Tyler Perry. And he's actually motivating me to start a studio in Illinois, not Chicago, Illinois. I have a broker father, so I think I'm not going to have trouble finding a perfect place for a movie theater / movie studio. So at first, I just took my phone to do rap videos. Phones are good today. I have S21 Ultra. Good luck finding that today wherever you are. It's probably in a classics store online. Today everything's online, which is something called the internet. If this is 20 years later, you have no idea what I'm experiencing right now. I'm using my phone. That's all it takes for me. Wrong to Strong has lighting and a camera, and I can see in the reflections. And he has a beautiful blonde woman who I'm sure is intelligent, and I'm sure takes care of him in the right way mentally. Because he has PTSD, and so do I. I have bipolar disorder, social anxiety disorder, and I got 0 panic attacks since I drove for Pace 10, 12 years ago. I all of a sudden got one because I thought a Jewish man was actually trying to kill me. I was actually laying on the floor with dominoes and Puerto Rican cards and to play by myself because the guy wasn't afraid from the psych ward, you know? So he's not mentally up there. I mean, I was in a psych ward, so who am I to say that? I was in a psych ward before that 3 times, 4 times. I lost count. Before and after the accident in 2017, September 15th, 2017. And today is October 2021. It took me 4 years to get over my ex-wife because I lost full custody to my son, who's 7 today, because she had to do that. It was the right thing to do. I was mentally challenged before and after the accident. The accident is something I can't stop thinking about recently. So I went to the hospital 3 times in 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. It's very mysterious where this all of a sudden came from. I think I drank something bad. It's possible. Maybe it was, poisons, something of that nature. People poison things, things like that happens. People go to the store and stick, a needle through bottles of water. You guys have to be careful. And I remember he left to see his girlfriend at 6 o'clock. And he had to just witness me laying on the floor, scared out of my mind that I was going to get killed or murdered by a Jewish man. And he didn't seem to care at all. And then he went out on the balcony and told me that the guy is in his car outside who was racing his engine, honking certain times and yelling certain times to get my attention. So I was freaking out. And he said that he went to his apartment the day before to get marijuana from him. So they were connected that way. And I knew that he knew him while we were in the psych ward. He told me that he knew him. It's a big building, right? 5 buildings, 3,200 people live here. Whatever year this is, I'm sure that doesn't sound like a lot. Mayor Daley decided to knock down all the projects, Taylor Homes, Cabrini Greens, where my uncle's from. And he's Puerto Rican that looks like a white Italian. I don't know what kind of experience my uncle had in the projects. Mark, that's a great thing to ask, to learn, but then talk about later. I thought about building more projects as if I become a millionaire, which I believe I will be with a PHP Life Insurance Agency branch. I'm going to start with $400. Today, that's not a lot of money. And by the time you see this 20 years from now, if you're in school, or I don't believe in school, by the way, because Elon Musk told me not to believe in school, believe in experiencing things. So like my 7-year-old is struggling with something, but she's an A student because my ex-wife is an A student, college graduate. Let's say my son was here right now. I would never ever smoke marijuana in front of my son. I don't believe he should be smoking at any age. Marijuana, from the research I did, does not cause cancer because it's a medicine. It's literally a medical plant. And I strongly believe people have been smoking this medical plant for thousands of years. Today's 2021. There's 30 plus states where it's recreationally legal. It went illegal by President Nixon in 61. because he knew it wasn't a bad drug, but he wanted to use that narcotic as a way to discover all the drug dealers that sold cocaine and heroin. Back then, that's all the drugs I knew of. Today, it's lean, which is like cough syrup. You're just drinking cough syrup to get high off of it, mixing it with whatever. And Lil Wayne, who's a rapper that's hot right now, Jigga's a billionaire. Lil Wayne sips it all day. And the fact that I know Lil Wayne is still alive today is because he probably lives with nurses in his mansion. They probably have the second house next to his mansion for when he starts having trouble. That's why he continues to drink lean. That I know of. You know, a lot of people lie. I learned these last 3 weeks that people are professional liars. Because when you're in a psych ward, what else can you learn, right? I'm going to end it with this because I finally made my hour. There's this thing called DNA. Okay, again, I don't know what year this is you're watching this. Today, DNA will find serial killers that committed murder 40 years ago and arrest them when they're in their 80s or 90s. The level of, I'm going to end with this one, the level of age, okay? The level of age today is you can die at any time from the moment of birth, even before birth. There's this thing called abortion where you kill babies legally today. And yeah. And if they got raped, something terrible happened to them, a relative raped them, you know, someone, a child they do not want to have, because if you sleep with relatives, you know, there's a big possibility that your kids will come out mentally challenged. I do not use the retard word. You're a fucking retard if you use that word. And I say nigga because I'm part black, being Puerto Rican. I don't say nigger. But I'm going to introduce you to one nigger today. R. Kelly. Robert Kelly. He's an R&B star that just got like, I don't know how many charges convicted for molesting and raping kids. I'm going to stick on the kids part because I know he dated older ones too. He used Public Announcement, I think was the group he came from, and then R. Kelly became a solo star. What he decided to do with that was get the illegal ID made for Aaliyah, who was 13 at the time, 13, 14 at the time. Today, you have to be 18 years of age to do pornography, which is stupid because you just got out of high school. I'm real curious as to what this video looks like 20, 40 years from now, especially because I know electric cars are going to be everywhere. Gas is going to be a unique item that's going to be rare to find. Because where the hell are the dinosaurs making more oil? They say it's out of plants and humans and dinosaurs. You know, I'm gonna end with this: dinosaurs existed because we have museums that says it. But the research says that museums existed when oxygen levels were very, very, very high here in the world. So that's why big animals existed. The mystery today about is there are still a dinosaur is alligators and whales and big sharks. So I'm thinking, was that a little fish to them back then? I don't believe animals existed with humans because the old human bodies that we found from digging, were very small human beings, short, because I believe the oxygen level was very small when they were born versus the other thing. And you know, all the dinosaurs got killed 60 million years ago, whatever it is. It's a guess because nobody was here 60 million years ago. Now, what's interesting about this video, and I'm going to end it with this, is 2021, we have the internet. We have artificial intelligence. We have electric cars. We still have the politics. That sucks. And the reason I don't like politics is because I'm a Democrat by being in a blue state. But, who knows what it's going to be in the future. Republican, Independent, and Democrats as it is today. And I do not hate Republicans. I do not hate Democrats, and I do not hate independents. I love people. I love human beings. DNA is what I'm going to end it with. Besides the murder, if you have a drug dealing history, that can affect you. Because DNA can find you 40 years later that you committed a murder. The only reason I'm bringing this up is because I was involved in shootings as a kid. And I don't know what happened to the other side because I ran after I did the shootings. I am not today, a gangbanger from the folks. And there's people here, they kill each other and they kill themselves. Not the same gang in the same gang. I'm sure there's been arguments and fights and almost killings, but one gang like from the same side. Today is folks and people. It might be different 24 years from now, 80 years from now. Who knows? This could be a classic movie. I think about 2001, 9/11, and then I think about 20,001. Then I think about 20,000 years ago. And then I think about dinosaurs millions of years ago. I think about how did humans start? And I did a science experiment trying to find out how humans were born. So all I saw was water, a little bit of food residue, whatever. I basically didn't wash dishes, and I'm a clean freak. The guy left my apartment when I was laying down scared that the Jewish man was going to kill me, and he was comfortable the entire time. Psych ward guys. And he went to go see his girlfriend around 6 o'clock. You gotta go see your family and friends and girlfriends. And I was going somewhere else, but I get distracted with the 3 hospital visits in 2.5 weeks. I know I was trying to finish something, but the psych ward and everyone inside that psych ward, everyone, even the guy whose name I don't know, the white guy from Florida, lives in downtown Chicago, supposedly. The reason I say supposedly is because a lot of people lie to you, no matter what year this is. I just want you to think about 20,001, 60 million years ago, 60 million years in the future. How does that freak you out? The last thing I'm going to say is aliens. They exist. In my opinion, 9 times out of 10, they see us like we're a bunch of squirrels or ants. And says, what the hell would I go there for? Their oil's running out. Gold is cheap. Silver is cheap. Right now, I'm going to end it with this. We have Bill Gates as a billionaire. Jeff Bezos is a billionaire. He started Amazon company. Bill Gates started Microsoft. Elon Musk started Tesla. Jeff Bezos started Amazon. Alibaba, I think, is in China. What I'm going to end with is this. If you want to be a motivational speaker like me, or Wrong to Strong, he's the only motivational speaker I see today. It's Wrong with the number 2, Strong, or I think so, on YouTube today. Who knows what you're watching in 40 years from now. I want you to leave thinking about dinosaurs 60 million years ago. This Earth 60 million years from now. We're all living on Mars and several planets. We have discovered most of the universe. Right now, we believe there's multi-universes and black holes. I believe if you fly through a black hole, you end up on the other side of the universe. Right now, what's important is Avengers, which is a Marvel comic book. Because there used to be books before the internet. There's still books today, people that read. Smart people read. And do you think this world is going to exist 60 million years from now, considering asteroids and everything of that nature? I think 60 million years from now, this Earth will be a Mars. Yeah, I think it won't even exist as a human capacity. I think that we're going to be living on so many planets. It's countless. We're going to see so many aliens. It's countless. Aliens are going to be our neighbors, depending what planet you live on. And I want you to think for the rest of the day. Today's 2021. Dinosaurs supposedly died around 40, 60 million years ago. So guess. And human beings started small. And Mark Anthony Martinez on Google, you have to put motivational speaker Mark Anthony Martinez in that order because there's a lot of Latinos. I'm Puerto Rican and black. I mean, Puerto Rican being black, being Puerto Rican, and part Mexican being Mexican. I want you to imagine that this Earth exists 60 million years from now. And if it does not, who cares about Mars? The technology, 6,000 years from now, 2,000 years from now, 100 years from now, 20 years from today, 2 years from today, will freak you the fuck out. It will surprise the shit out of you when stuff comes out. But you know what usually happens 9 out of 10? People just find it interesting. No, it's the next new thing that we're doing now. People don't look at it like it's part of their history. I teach about science all the way up and down. So, hope you enjoyed this. I hope I taught you something.